Welcome back to our podcast, Dramini Fanfic Fanatics. You're here with Tracy, Carrie Ann, and Holly, and today we're going to be discussing the fanfiction, The Downfall of Us All. No, it's not.
I think it's just the downfall of us.
We're just repeating my mistake.
It could be the downfall of us all. I would let it.
Downfall of Us by Gemjoy. It is a completed 39-chapter fanfiction. It is only on AO3, and it is 137,553 words. There will be spoilers, as we will fully be discussing this fanfiction with a lot of emotion. So,
it's pretty true.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
If your Marco Polos were anything, Carrie Ann, it's that.
Okay, yeah, we need to preface this episode. We need to preface. Okay, listen. I stand by this. I love me some dark romance.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I think we said it in a previous episode that I don't need Draco to be redeemable. I'm totally okay with him.
No.
I'm totally okay with that. So this, if you haven't read it, this is a dark fanfic. It's Voldemort is still alive. What's it called? Dark AU.
Dark AU.
Okay, for alternate universe.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot and had to look that up. I'm not gonna lie. So
I have to look everything up. It's okay. It's fine.
So out of the three of us, I am probably the one who liked this the most, only because I tend to like the darker stuff more.
Well, I like the dark stuff too, but and we'll get to this at the end because the ending, I felt like the ending was, I don't know, it worked out better. It worked out better than most dark AU endings do, in my opinion.
I'm a little sad that, I guess in a way that would be the best way to phrase it is like, I would have been totally okay if it had been worse. If it had ended worse.
Yeah,
sounds backwards. But yeah, I kind of wanted a little more death. I don't know. They all got, Theo could have died, honestly, and I would have been totally fine.
Well, okay, we're just jumping right to it. Ginny died, but I
was totally okay with that.
I was too. I was actually fine with that because I wrote down a note that said, hey, you know what? If we can't solve all the problems at the end, we just kill them all off. Just kill them all. And then there's no problems. But then she ended up having to do what she did in the end anyway to save him. But I thought Kingsley was going to die too, and then he didn't. It was just Ginny. So.
See, here I am writing, Ginny fucking died? No.
You want to know my note? I literally wrote, finally, period. That's all I wrote on Ginny.
God.
I like all of our different notes about this. See, that's what makes this thoroughly enjoyable. Yes. We all have all these different opinions on it. Yes. Happy that Ginny is dead. Now I see no loopholes of why they can't be together, and no! It's great. Perfect.
But you're right, Tracy. We did jump to the end. Maybe we should back up. Okay? The beginning. Obviously.
Yes. I'm trying to go back to the beginning too.
Him being High Inquisitor with a golden bronze mask.
Okay, I liked that idea too. Although, something I didn't like that he was called the High Inquisitor. All I could think of was Umbridge. I'm like, no, that's Umbridge. What do we... No.
I didn't even think of that. Like the Inquisitorial Squad.
Yes. Well, and I mean, I like that they took something like that and made it their own in that way. But at the same time, and at the beginning of this fic, they give you some notes or whatever the author does that says this is inspired from Manacled and Secrets and Masks. And I've only read Manacled. I haven't read the other one. But I'm like, he was called the High Reeve in that. And so in my opinion, you don't want to just fully copy that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it was fine, but I did think of Umbridge a lot. Anytime.
I was just thinking about this beautiful man in this golden mask. Oh my God. I think my panties would have melted off. Honestly. The second he walked in the room, I think the power that would come off of him,
oh man, that's funny. I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. I don't know if I just needed to go back and reread this, but for some reason in the beginning, I thought maybe Draco and Hermione had a thing at Hogwarts based on when
Her saving, like wanting him to come with her at the end of the
yes,
Battle of
and
Hogwarts.
him kind of saving her, you know, the way that they were talking to each other. I just got to pull it back up because the way that they were talking to each other, it made it seem like they had a thing.
What?
I just read it. I finished it like an hour and a half ago.
Oh, that's true.
They mentioned it towards the very end of the like last chapters. He developed a crush for her in 6th year.
Okay.
And so that's kind of why, because I think he was mentioning
I think that makes sense now.
He paid attention to me, not those words, but like
right.
He was like, yeah, no, I smelled you in the ambrosia. Ambrosia? Is that what it's called? That's no
Amortentia.
Ambrosia.
So the amortentia in 6th grade. So
yeah, he smelled her raspberry shampoo, right?
Yeah, shut up. Her shampoo, yes, the raspberry.
Sorry. I liked that she smelled like raspberries. Okay, she always smells the same in all of these fics to him. She always smells like amber or honey or like, but raspberries. And I'm going, okay, I love raspberries.
Down the shampoo aisle, how many of those do you see that say honey? But you see a ton that are like strawberries and like those other, like it makes more sense to me. I'm like, that, yeah.
But not a raspberry. I've never seen a raspberry shampoo. Like that was to me just like a random scent to pick. So I don't know.
I am really, really odd. I think roses smell like raspberries. Everyone has told me, Holly, you're full of shit. I am, absolutely. But I think they smell like raspberries. So when I'm like, oh, she smells like raspberries, she smells like roses. In my head, I think she smells like roses. And then that makes more sense to me.
I feel like I need to go smell a rose now.
I love the smell of roses because I think they smell like raspberries and I love raspberries. I do. Every time I smell a rose, I just want to eat it.
So you kind of have like color blindness, but with smelling.
Oh, for sure. I love the smell of Play-Doh. Did you know they make a Play-Doh cologne and I wanted Bryce to wear it and he refused?
I'm sorry. No, back up. A Play-Doh cologne?
Yeah, they do. I don't know if they do now. You can look it up. I looked this up a long time ago.
Okay.
Back.
I did really, really like that each of these chapters were really short compared to like other like dark AU things, or like kind of like longer fics, and because this one to me is like middle road. Like this is a decently long one. It's a decent one. I looked for 100,000 and up. I read it in a day. And so, like, I can read it quickly, but the chapters were really short, so I felt like I was progressing quickly.
And
so
it was dual POV.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of the other darker ones are just Hermione. Like, you don't get Draco's side, and I love Draco's side.
Me too.
I know many people will sell their souls for Draco's POV and Manacled. So, like, I could not, but it's a thing. So, gotta have that dual POV.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, I felt like this one was written really well. I feel like sometimes fics struggle a little bit when they're inspired so much by other fics and they're trying to create another one like it, but not like it. Like how I was saying, he's the High Inquisitor instead of the High Reeve, things like that. But this one I felt like did a really good job standing on its own.
Yeah.
Like it really did.
I agree.
I really did not like the oh my god, I think it was like the very first time we saw Voldemort. Bellatrix was
Chapter 6.
Disgusting. Head.
I wrote Bellatrix and Voldemort, yuck.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen so many like fan fictions where like they're like together, because I think it's like maybe not together, but she's in love with him basically.
Oh yeah.
But
this is the first one I read. That was disgusting.
This was the first one I read where they wanted to have a baby together.
That's true.
I was like,
They did a really good job describing things. Let's talk about the descriptions of torture. And of just Voldemort's looks. Like, you know, they're describing him as like his jowls are hanging off of him, like he's gross, like he's falling apart. And I'm like, ugh, and his teeth are black. And,
Hey, maybe I zoned out because I was like, let's get to the good stuff. But every time Voldemort came up, the mental image I had was that worm in SpongeBob that's sitting on the wheelchair. I don't know why. Like, I know he's like falling apart more than that, but that is what I imagined every time Voldemort came in the room.
I constantly have different imaginings of who I imagine as all these different characters. And no, with him, I pictured somebody really gross and old. Like, I just couldn't stop.
I just kept
Nasty.
imagining Voldemort how I normally imagine him. So, like,
It was
I was
half
like,
and half.
Just
Every time that they threw in another descriptor, I went, huh.
Okay.
But can I imagine him with a nose? Yes, I can, because I've watched behind the scenes of them making Harry Potter, and he has a nose.
It's so weird. I hate seeing those.
Funny though. Oh, it's so funny. Ah, man. I really liked some of the quotes in this one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one that I wrote down was because Ron's a jackass, right? Because he's always a jackass. He's telling her that he's asking her, "Oh, you're just trying to be a hero, aren't you?" And she looks back at him. I hope it comes with a cape. And I'm like, yeah, badass Hermione. Good job, girl. You get him.
Let's talk about Ron. You got me started, okay? Ron Basher here. I stand by it. Listen, Ron in this one, I don't know what he was on, but every chapter he was mentioned irked me. And
what happened to Ron in the end?
He died.
We'll get to it.
It was beautiful.
I mean,
we'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, how did I forget about this?
So, listen, I don't mind how Ron was portrayed in this one, but I do wish there was a little bit more of, like, him leading up to it. Like, I feel like he was just angry all of a sudden, and there was no, like, explanation. And to me, like, a little bit more of, like, maybe he's mad because Hermione really was like, fuck off, bro. Like, I don't want you. But that was never explained.
Yeah, that's true.
So just a little bit more backstory.
He didn't have Harry to be, to kind of be around. So he was just kind of figuring out who he was without, the golden boy.
That's a good point to mention, though, too. I liked that about this one. I feel like Harry is always a person that's there, and he was not because of trauma. Like, he was just out.
He died.
Out.
Twice.
Yeah. And it's like, and almost died a third time because he almost killed himself. Like, so do you remember that? Because didn't he walk off a building? Is that what happened?
Yeah, like walked off the balcony of,
because he thought he was on so many drugs, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because he thought he would just float or fly. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. Anyway, and then he just comes in randomly halfway through. I like a fic where he supports Hermione. He supports them.
It makes sense to me because Harry and Hermione, I don't care if they are out there. There's fan fictions. I don't stand by it. They have never. No. They are like brother and sister to me. That's gross.
They are. Yeah.
So to see him being like that brotherly, like if that's like what makes you happy, like okay, like I love that. Love that. Back to Ron because I'm not done. So I actually loved every time that Ron was being a jackass, how Hermione would throw it back with lavender and like throw that back at him. Because if I was Hermione, there is no way I would let that slide. I would be bringing it up every second. She was way more patient than I was. I'd be like, where's your bitch? Where is she? Go get her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No kidding. I mean, it kind of makes you feel bad for her. I mean, as bad as you can feel for Lavender, I feel for her, but It's only because, I mean, gosh, I watch those movies or I read the books again and I go, oh, 16-year-old me, that was me. Oh, cringy.
Wow,
That's
yeah.
exactly what we were talking about earlier on Marco Polo. Do we have friends from high school? No. Not me.
So are you saying in this alternate universe you're Lavender?
No, in the alternate universe, I am Hermione. Are you kidding? What universe would I be? No, in this universe, I am Lavender.
Oh, okay.
That's what. It just sucks. It's okay. It's okay. I got my man. I'm fine. I got my Brycey boy. We're good. Anyway.
Okay. Anyways. So, no, my turn.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yep, you're fine.
That was aggressive. I was just gonna say, there was a quote in chapter 9 that made me shed a single little sad tear. And it was that he said, "You left me once, do it again."
Kate, and so I think that's what actually triggered me to go, did they have a thing? They didn't. It's just he had a crush on her but he shoved her through the portrait hole. Well, or was it Lucius?
Lucius.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Lucius Malfoy. And he stupefied her too. So she literally had zero choice. Like there was nothing she could do about it. But
to a little 16-year-old boy,
yeah,
that would be like heartbreaking.
Technically, he was like 17, 18 when that happened, but okay.
Okay, hold on.
Because this was
I wrote this down. Where did I write it down? I was wondering. Okay, inconsistency. I put inconsistency. 16-year-old Hermione tortured by Bellatrix. So they wrote it down that she was 16 when she was tortured by Bellatrix. And I'm like, okay, but this doesn't work. So I was trying to like figure out how it was supposed to work so it happened earlier, but it didn't. I don't think.
No, it should be 18. She's the oldest out of the trio.
So, okay. Anyway, so I just wondered. Because I'm like, because then, I mean, maybe they were 16 then if the war took place earlier but I don't remember anything like that being mentioned. So.
I think she was 16 when she battled like Dolohov in the Department of Mysteries. But
maybe that's what it was. But I thought it was when.
Correct.
I agree. I do. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. You can continue, Carrie. I kind of steamrolled you. I tend to do that.
I just wanted to put up that comment. I liked that quote. I wrote it down so much I liked it. So, I wrote down other quotes
she
too.
She left him once. Yeah.
Surprisingly, I didn't write any. Okay, that's not true. I wrote one quote down.
From what chapter?
But it's from I didn't write the chapter. It's from the very end though, where Theo says, "And denial is a river that flows through Egypt." And I just went through denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay. that meme or whatever TikTok. I don't know what it's from. I cracked up. I was like,
"That's really the only quote you wrote down?"
Literally the only
I wrote some good ones down. You want to hear my next one? You want to hear my next one? I think it's when she shows up at the masquerade and they're all watching in awe as she comes down the stairs, right? And Draco goes, "Maybe she's a succubus." I went, why?
That was chapter 8, by the way, just so you know.
That. How?
You wrote down.
I wrote down chapters. I did. I was going to go chapter by chapter and write down what I liked. Mm-hmm. That way I also stayed on track. Yeah. Anyways.
This is carrying on.
Because I also wrote in chapter 8 when he kicked Dolohov in the shin. Little petty, little sassy, just quick kick. Yes. I love that. And he also called her princess in that chapter. And I wrote down in all caps, princess.
I love it how quickly he realizes that it's Hermione. Mm-hmm. Like, just so very quickly and just automatically, you find yourself here. Why are you here? And just a very, very, and she's like, oh, shit. Oh, no.
I love that power play. I love that.
Yes.
That's like, he could do that to me. I would be so okay.
I bet you
was a
just
stupid
loved
plan.
it. I bet you just loved it then, the way that he killed Goyle for her.
Oh, I did. I really did. I really did.
So that was one thing that I didn't like about this fic. Yes, very excellent job description wise. It's just not me. I'm not into the torture and crap. I was cringing reading every single line of that.
This was tame.
It was Dolohov that he tortures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that chapter.
I wanted them to fuck in front of his body. That's what I want.
That's why you don't look back.
This
Yup.
I would have been more satisfying, Carrie Ann, if while he was still alive.
Gosh.
I don't
make him what?
Alive, dead. I just like it goes back to like the power dynamic and like the sassiness of like
oh my gosh. Oh.
And you can't tell already. Anybody listening, this was my favorite so far, and it was just so...
Oh my gosh.
Chapter 16. I wrote down a quote. He said, "I will always be the villain princess." I would get that tattooed on my body. I would. Fanny flutters.
Wait. Say that again?
Fanny flutters.
I didn't hear it right. Okay.
I like that. I like that. Fanny flutters.
I
just say Twitter pated, but that's much better.
Love Island. Did I say that right?
Love Island.
I think I heard that once on like a Love Island episode, and it stuck, and it makes sense. It's accurate. Fanny.
I was saying, like, if you know the slang, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just say I got all tingly in my tingly place. You're welcome. You're welcome. Going back to the beginning, real quick. So I liked, okay, obviously when he develops his thing for her, but I like it when he's out there and he murders Seamus. I don't like that part, but you know, he's out there and then like all hell breaks loose, right? And then she's looking through like the window and he just and I'm like, so crazy. And then he apparates like right next to her, and then she stabs him. It's awesome.
And then they say later, like that's when I, you know, like since you stabbed me is when I, you know, became obsessed with you or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Who was it that he shoved his wand through their eye? Which one was that? Was that Goyle? Am I imagining this?
No, you're not, because I remember it too.
Okay, I was like, because I was like, like when it happened, I was very excited. I think it was Goyle.
I don't know. I wrote a lot about Dolohov getting.
Then it must have been Goyle.
Hold on, I will get to it.
Okay. While you're doing that, I, you know, wrote praise kink in big block letters on my notes. So I didn't quite write the quotes down, but good girl, say please, or him saying please, I'm sorry, him saying please, use your words. Who did this to you? That's a different one. And I'll burn the world down than rather seeing you
I would rather see the world burn to the fucking ground than Rescue Ranger.
This author hit all the tropes on the head.
Yeah,
Holy
me.
shit. I was like, so I was reading them, and they were screaming at each other, having an argument. It's because I love you, or whatever at the end, you know, and then they kind of freeze and then start making out. I love those because they did do that. I don't know what he said, but anyway, sorry. That was one of my favorite parts. They got all the good. This author got all the good tropes, though we did get a one bed trope without the satisfying ending. Yeah, they did that on purpose, but it is what it is.
Apparently eyes is put into this 752 times, so this is taking longer than I thought.
Oh, dude, I just tried to do the same thing. I couldn't find it either. But I just looked up another inconsistency that I wrote down.
Okay.
And I found it. It's there. So Bill Weasley, in the beginning where all the explosions happen when Seamus is being executed, he says that he saw Yaxley's body. So he was dead. He was counted among the dead. Yaxley was. And then he's dancing with Astoria at the masquerade later. And I went, oh, hey. Oh, hey. I wrote that down just because I remembered him dying, and then he's dancing with Astoria later, and I went, what? There's not enough Death Eater names to go through, I feel like. You got to get, like, the major ones, but then it's hard to, I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
But yes, I do know what you mean. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I found the eye socket part.
You did?
Yeah. There was a brief moment of silence as blood began to pour from the man's empty socket. Then the real screaming started. Goyle bellowed, blah, 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 blah. It was Goyle.
Yep.
Yeah, in a smooth motion, Draco thrust the pointed end of his wand into Goyle's eye. So, I was like,
ugh. Did she pass out she doesn't remember any of that during that when he tortured him?
I know she at one point she did, like,
okay.
What happened to Goyle? You killed him, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Why the fuck do we just love Draco with her goddamn cat? Calling him Satan?
Ciao,
Satan. That was the chapter title. It's great.
Drinks his drink and then leaves some hair in it. Love that.
Yes. That's just funny. It's good.
Best side character.
Yep. Him and that goddamn cat. I love it so much.
I do. I love that. I love that the cat keeps coming in. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'm changing topics, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I loved how later when Hermione is being, like, imprisoned, like, she gets the picture from Theo of Draco and Crookshanks.
Yes.
That was so cute. I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. That's all.
I thought that was cute too. That I hate it whenever one of them is imprisoned for an obnoxiously long time. It makes me I have to get through that time period as fast as possible. Like, I start reading 10 times my speed. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this. Nope.
You don't want
let's get freed here. No. Don't.
And yeah, there's Carrie.
She likes that.
I loved it. Because he's like going.
Oh yeah, because he goes nuts, right?
Yeah, he's going into, like, that. Oh, love that.
But then I'm like, okay. But here's the thing. If he can literally get her own mug, for tea, and charm a note to the bottom of it, where's the port key? Where's the port key? Or something else, if port keys, if they won't work, wherever she's at, where's some other form of magic that will work? You know what I mean? Like, if he's able to sneak something, I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, but then if she, like, if he gives her
sometimes I think too hard on these.
Yeah, like, well, because that would incriminate everyone in the castle, and then they're gonna go through their brains and mush them up to see who it is. I actually thought, okay, sorry, we'll mention the pregnancy trope finally because it was here. She did get pregnant. It was nice that, like, finding out it wasn't just like she had other symptoms, so that was nice. But I assumed when she was captured that they all knew it was Draco's. So all of a sudden, like, I'm like, oh, well, cool. I don't. It was just really jarring because all of a sudden I read, like, oh, they think it's Ron's. Wait, Draco was also not in. Oh, I that wasn't quite clear to me. So I immediately assumed that they all thought it was Draco's kid. But
same. Same.
Oh, I got it pretty clear. I don't know. Like it made sense to me because nobody knew about her and Draco, and everybody knew that her and Ron at some point were a thing. So like it just makes sense for the other side to just assume like, oh, they're still together. That must be his.
But Draco told the Dark Lord and whoever was there that, like, Hermione's trusting me. Like, so I just kind
That's
of
true. Yes.
That's
Yes.
where I was getting my information. Yep. But anyway.
Well, and that's what I initially thought when, Draco comes in and they're all celebrating and cheering in the Great Hall of Hogwarts. And, oh, it's because we caught the mudblood, and she's carrying a blood traitor's child. And I'm like, shit, Voldemort knows. And then I was like, oh, he doesn't. Okay.
Yeah. They call the Weasleys blood traitors, so I should, in hindsight, I probably should have caught that.
Because aren't they one of the Sacred 28 families?
The Weasleys? I think so. No?
I didn't think...
I thought they were.
I think Weasley and the Pruitt families. I thought both of them were.
Because I know they were, like... you might be right.
I don't know.
I thought they were, so that's why when they kept saying, like, oh, it's a blood traitor, and they were referring to Ron, I was like, that makes sense. They think that he's their family is a blood traitor because they're fighting on the other side. Like,
right.
Made sense to me.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Weasley's on it. So is Longbottom. I didn't know that.
I knew that. I knew Longbottom was. For sure. I didn't know that one.
Macmillan? Didn't know Macmillan was on that.
Mm-mm.
Gaunt should be removed because that ended technically with
Isn't it still technically a Sacred 28 though, even though it's ended?
But I thought that was kind of the point, is that like they're not like when you're right. Off,
yeah. Maybe it's not because it's Voldemort's family. And so he just didn't allow it.
Did people know that he was a Gaunt though?
I don't know if it's well known. I mean, by book 6, Harry knows.
Yeah, but I figured that was just because... Anyway, we're getting into off topic. Sorry.
We're getting into deep canon here. Here we go. Deep canon that maybe Carrie-Anne knows or maybe doesn't know.
I zoned out. I was focused on one of the books that I wrote down.
The Gaunts are descended from Salazar Slytherin and are Voldemort's magical family. His mother's side. But since his mother... Yes. But his mother drugged a muggle into loving her. And that's how he came about.
As one does.
Yep.
Going back to the note that he put in the notes that she would read. At one point, like, I loved how Draco kept saying, like, he kept referring to, you both. So her and I was swooning. And he says at one point, like, I crave you both. Yeah. And I was just like, stop. So
it was really cute. Really sweet.
Carrie's like, oh, whatever.
I was going, it's good. It's not as good as one of the other quotes that I wrote down.
Okay, then continue.
Okay, you ready? Chapter 21. Okay. So before she gets imprisoned, they are talking to what's-his-face to get the hat.
Yes.
Okay. Draco is, torturing him. And he says the best line. I think I actually had to put my phone down because it got me like, whoo! I had to put my phone down. I had to walk away. I came back. I read it again. And that's what I Marco Polo'd you guys the first time, where I just like jaw dropped. Okay.
I do remember that.
He says, don't swear to God. He cannot help you. Swear to me. Like, the way I would melt if he said that in front of me. That is so hot to me. I love that. Anybody, authors listening, okay, listen, you want to write a good thing to get me interested? Put that in there, okay? I love that. It's in, like, some of the, like, there are other books out there that have that same thing of, like, I'll be your god now, or, like, something like that, like, oh. I'm gonna be stuck on this for a minute, so if we don't move on.
That's fine. You just keep going.
I love that. Oh,
let's see. I only have a little bit about Dolahov's torture. I just said it was amazing.
I
That's
love
it.
that he pulled his heart out. I love that he just grabbed that bad boy. I would have then taken it and offered it to her.
Sorry.
I did like that Theo was singing while he was torturing him
loved that.
first.
I didn't see
Before Draco even
Gangster's
starts.
Paradise. I was dying.
Like, oh man, two
Theo
psychos.
is such a good side character, and he did so well.
He's great.
In this for like comic relief.
Yep.
For those that aren't like super into like the dark stuff, he was enough of like a comic relief to kind of lighten it up. So
I agree.
He was a very well written character.
Fully agree. I liked and I liked that he had character. He loved salt and vinegar chips. There were so many things like about him that they added in that I'm like, this is great. I love this guy. Also my favorite snack too. So I kind of liked Theo.
Nope. You two are sickos.
I like the occasional salt and vinegar chip.
I did too. My tongue can't always take it.
Exactly, yeah. Because of your weird tongue.
My geographical tongue that I'd show you, but I won't show the internet. I hope for doing that.
The one that
only these two have seen it. Nope. It's long. I'm gonna stop there. Never mind. Nope.
Okay, you know what I loved in this one? I don't know if there was a tag for it. There might have been. Inappropriate use of the Malfoy signet ring.
There was a tag for it. And I
Yummy.
mentioned it once, though, and I was like...
I know, I kind of wanted more.
You know, I think that's hilarious that is an actual tag. I think that's that tag. So funny to me. I think it is.
Often used.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes.
The way I would be kicking my feet and giggling, like, as I read that part.
It was like, when it's happening.
No, when it's happening, I'm dripping.
Okay, back to Ron. I'm sorry, that was very jarring. I cried. The Marco Polo that I sent you, the first one. That was
crying during his death.
Not because he died, but because of her flashing back, like her remembering kind of who he was, and then like, oh, this is how I'm probably gonna remember him, is in this like decrepit state. But that just like her like flashback of like him, I was like, oh my god. And so yeah, I was very upset. And Kariana does not give a shit.
I think I had like I would only describe it as a Grinch smile. Like, you know how in the Jim Carrey where like he like I had one of those the second that they brought him out, and it said that he had the smile carved into his face.
See, that just made me think of the Joker.
Yeah,
that's what it made me think of. Was the Joker? You're sitting there smiling. I'm going, ugh.
And it was also really sad because they made her kill him. And
yeah, but she didn't.
Draco offering to be like, I will Imperious you. So
that's true. Yeah.
I was like, man after my own heart. Like, I did love that, how he did it for her, but I was very upset about it.
I don't remember where this was said. Sorry, I just saw this and went, oh, I'm going to mention it. It was a quote. You were about 10 seconds away from death at best, capture at worst. I loved that because it reminded me of, or worse, expelled. It's like, and I think it was Draco that says it too, and I'm like, oh, look at that. Who has their priorities that match? Matching priorities.
Okay, I have an argument for that. Because Hermione's priority is death or where it's expelled. His is death or worse, get tortured.
That's true.
So,
totally right.
He's right because there are things worse than death. So,
but didn't she have that pill or like something on her?
It was mentioned, yeah, and then never brought up again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, didn't she? In her cell. Honestly, I was kind of like, girl, why didn't you think about it sooner? Like, that would have been my
I thought that chapter was very well written, though.
It was really well written.
Made a lot of sense the way that it
she does have the, the thought of, oh, it's not just my life that I'd be ending. at this point. It would
Yeah.
also be mine and Draco's child. Like, crap. It's not. Let's talk about something a little lighter. Who likes a good cook, Draco Malfoy? Good chef.
But
I
he wasn't
do.
in this, was he?
Yes. Okay,
I
maybe
like
he
how he kept
wasn't.
saying it
Maybe
was
he.
Daniel Lake.
Maybe he wasn't a good chef, but they do go out and they make a pizza together, and that was cute as crap.
I love
Okay,
that.
question. I need to see that. Here's my problem. I need to read these fics twice. I really do. I need to read them twice before I talk about it because I go, I need to go back and reread that. Why were they doing that? Why were they on like a date?
They
So
were in
Because
Italy.
she had just killed Mundungus, right? That
And
had
they were
just happened. They were just
Yeah.
there, and so they
Yeah,
just
they were-
decided to. Okay,
They're
Yeah,
gonna stay
okay,
there.
yeah, Blaze was like, you should stay at this really cute little inn, like really
okay,
popular. Like they just to do it.
okay. Got it. Just to do it, just so
Yeah.
that we could throw in that one bed trope, and
Of course.
and hope for the best, and get the worst. So
Is
Hey,
that also the
they-
chapter that he said, "I quite like you on your knees, Granger"? Because
I think
that
so.
was
Yes.
hot.
Yeah, and then yeah, it goes away.
No, talk about blue balls.
Yeah, no kidding. Except, but he just went and got tortured, I think. It's like,
Yeah, it's true.
I think he forgot about his blue balls.
I didn't.
But we didn't. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm bringing this up again. I like Harry Potter when he is supportive of Hermione. I know I've already said that. Bringing it up again because I saw it written down again. I wrote it down again. Well, and the fact that he's not really in this, and then, the one time that he shows up to talk to her and he's like comforting her and she's telling him everything and he goes, no, it's okay, and then in the very end, he's also with her the whole time, goes with her to, Okay, and the very unmentioned, where did I write this down? Are we to draw our own conclusions about Harry and Theo?
I thought the same thing.
No, it's a tag.
Do we need it? Do we need a second
thought-
look?
I thought it was. Hold on.
I don't think it was. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because I'm going,
Slowly.
okay, so we killed Ginny, but we kept Theo and Harry alive. And Theo's been taking care of
guess
Draco,
not.
and Harry's kind of there for Hermione.
And then when he says at the end, like, like, you're gonna make me late for my date, I was like, with Harry?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh.
I think we're supposed to draw our own conclusions about that.
I'm a Theo and Harry shipper.
Mhm.
So
Well, okay. Hang on. You know what? There's another place. Hold, please. Oh my. Why did I? Okay. Damn it. It's not. It doesn't even. It just said. I was hoping that they had a relationship tag.
That's what I was
like,
looking
guys,
for.
we
I
can figure this
thought
out.
it was, but I guess
Dang
not.
it. No, it's just Hermione and Draco. That's all it
we'll
says.
just imagine it in our heads, so it's fine.
Yep.
Are we going to talk about the ending? Because I ranted in our Marco Polo.
It was much too quick of an ending.
Before we get to it, I have to say how much I loved Hermione taking care of Bellatrix. How she's the one that did it.
That.
Yeah.
I loved that Draco knew that she
Encouraged
needed
her.
it. Yeah, and was
Yep.
like, you do it. Go right
Mhm.
ahead. Like,
That never happens. I don't
Yeah.
think it ever happens. She
that
never gets her
Hermione's the one?
revenge.
Oh.
Yeah, she never gets revenge on Bellatrix. I don't feel like. Maybe there are
Not
some
like
out
this.
there, but no.
This was more okay. Anyway, I just want to mention it because Queen Bee. Let's go through the ending because I have an opposite opinion.
Okay.
So
I ranted in our Marco Polos. The second that I finished this, I ranted, okay? And here's my rant. I am very particular. And Ben, my lovely husband, can attest to this. I am the worst, okay? Movies and TV show, it's mainly movies. We have a hard time watching movies where I don't pick them apart because I don't like an implied ending. It's hard for me to I don't know. To me, I want it spelled out.
Depends.
No, I see. And that's great for you.
Depends
I
for
want
me.
to know. I want to know. And so this was an implied ending, and it was a little frustrating, just because like, I would want one more chapter. Like an epilogue. Like, you could have this, you could end the book here, right? But then give me an epilogue of, like, oh my, like, he's going to be mad at her. You know that. He's going to be mad at her for, like, obliviate, whatever.
Well,
like,
he didn't seem too mad.
But you know that he would be. So I would want another chapter of him, like, being mad at her and, like, seeing that play out a little bit. Because then you can get the makeup sex. Like, it can all be good. And so
that's true. The makeup sex, I would have really liked to see more like domestic. Like I want to see Dad Draco with baby because I have ovaries and they'll just explode. So yes,
like how my ovaries explode every single day seeing my husband dad our child. Yeah,
that what yours does. Mine don't.
Okay, not all the time. No, it's true.
It's like when it's like the little baby like that. I'm like, oh, I could have another one. And then when the 3-year-old runs by, I'm like, maybe not.
Oh my gosh! Right now, I just have the 3-year-old, and I'm going, oh, you might be the last one.
See, where's my epilogue chapter of them dealing with the shitty little toddler? Because that's what I want.
No kidding.
That Hermione, like, thinking back to our last episode. Was it our last one? Was it 2? I don't remember how long ago it was.
Which one?
What if they had the kid? Last episode.
Last one.
The kid. Yeah. And he's a little shit. So, like, you know that their kid would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I want to read that.
I
want to read them experiencing that.
I want to experience it with you.
We've got a few
we do.
On our schedule of, Dad Draco, so maybe
Measure
we'll
of a Man. Oh.
Yes. Anybody knows what one I'm looking for, go ahead and send it to us so we can review it because I need it, apparently. Okay, Tracy, what's your... Sorry, go ahead.
Go read Measure of a Man. That's all you need, Carrie Ann. Just go read that one. Oh, that will tug on your heartstrings. You'll go, oh, I should have another kid. Because it makes you go, oh.
I don't know about that.
It's very cute. It's very cute. Oh. Okay, sorry.
I was going to say, Tracy, what's your alternate if you have a different opinion than me about the implied ending?
Oh, okay. So it's really weird, but to me it was perfectly abrupt, if that makes sense. So the previous chapter, it ended with, oh, they're having a cute moment after she gives birth, and then all of a sudden, like, obliviates him.
Yeah.
And then just kind of cut to her and Harry on a plane going to Perth, Australia, and I was kind of just, like, super jarred. It was quite abrupt, but she wrapped it up perfectly where I was, like, not questioning things anymore, if that makes sense. So it was such a fast ending, but it was a good fast ending, and I was very impressed. So I liked it. Was very satisfying. I thought it was very sweet in the end. But I know with obliviating, it doesn't quite work like that with how, remembering, because if you obliviate someone, you actually, like, have to work on their mind to get the memories back. So that's the only thing I was kind of like, I know how it would work, but also this is fictional, so but no, I would have liked an epilogue chapter, but I thought the ending was perfectly fine.
I did too. I was happy with the ending.
This is good.
Other than we had to draw our own conclusions about Theo and Harry.
Yes, true, but
Fine.
it would have been nice to see, like, oh no, I really did like his, like, he was, what was it when he was talking to them and he went over to the baby and was like, hello, and then he's like, wait a second, why the fuck did I just touch this strange woman's baby, basically? But he was like, I don't know why I did that. I was like, I know why. So
I know why I did. Yeah, it was cute.
Your face.
I was a little upset that Hermione was going to let him go.
Yes.
She was.
Draco would be so...
That was upsetting.
Her. If he clicked it and realized... You're right.
He absolutely would have been angry. After that initial time, he would have gone, hang on. Whoa, what?
Instead of just saying, yes, he can have the one cute moment of saying, like, I've been waiting for you, princess. I would then flip it around and immediately have Draco be like, "What the fuck, princess? Like,
Were you really just about to leave?
yeah, like that's what I want. I want that part."
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are correct. I agree with you. That would have been much more satisfying. And yeah, I don't know, but I did like the possessive handhold. Not handhold,
So
net hold.
I thought we were gonna have more of that in the book because it appeared in the end like that. I think it happened once, and that's all it was just a little possessive handhold. It wasn't. There was no strangulation.
Light choking.
I was gonna say, as far as like kinks and like kinky sex, this was pretty vanilla.
Yeah, it was.
And I don't know about you guys, but I do not imagine Draco vanilla. In my head, he is very unvanilla.
No, I don't. That's why. Oh, I meant to tell you guys this earlier on Marco Polo when I was watching Elemental. I like it and I don't like it, and I figured out why I don't like it. And it's because she's dominant and he's not. He's so submissive. It's like, but like to a point that it's gross.
Thank you.
Ugh. And because I'm having those thoughts on a Disney movie, there's something wrong here.
No, have you
I'll
seen
go back to my smut I'm reading
and Nick Wilde stuff? Like, come on,
okay.
Nick Wilde taught.
Yeah, you're right.
I stand by that.
Man,
Jason Bateman taught
so much so. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I fully agree with that.
How embarrassing would that be if it's not Jason Bateman? Is that the right voice actor?
Why does that sound wrong? No, that's right.
I said it. I was like, what if that's wrong?
That's right.
Okay, I was right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like,
I swear.
He's from my favorite movies. Horrible Bosses.
From Arrested Development.
I hate those movies.
I love Horrible Bosses. Okay, I haven't laughed so hard in my life. Like, I was making Bryce tear up because I was laughing so hard at those movies.
Why would he tear up?
Because he was laughing so hard because of how hard I was laughing. See, that's the thing. My family tells me all the time. They're like, Holly, we don't enjoy anything you tell us to watch unless you're watching it with us. Whatever. The Office. I'm like, fine, guys. That show is the best. I will stand by. Oh, you know what? Carrie Ann and I will fight you. About that. The Office is the best.
It is.
It is.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Okay. Let's start talking about some other things, though, that I didn't talk about that are mentioned on earlier in the book. With Feeling Granger, when she's carving her initials into his chest. Did you not write down that quote, Carrie Ann?
I just wrote down knife because listen.
Oh man.
Listen. There are things that I will admit to, and there are things that I am not going to admit to on the internet. But let's just say, well done.
I don't know what you won't admit to now.
Well done.
What are you thinking?
I loved that. I love that. And just I wish. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Oh, no. I know. I think I know exactly what you're going to say, and I'm not going to say it either.
Just know that was a great scene. I loved that. It was very good.
Oh, my gosh.
10 out of 10.
It's great.
It was another one of those moments that I read on my phone. I just put my phone down and walked away for a moment, took a breath, came back.
Oh, I love it. So when Ginny and Hermione go to save Neville and Padma, and she gets abruptly stopped by Fenrir Greyback, and then she makes it out of there, she apparates away to go find Draco. So she just abandoned the other three, right? Like, did that happen?
Yeah, he did that more than once.
It was just skimmed over. But it wasn't, because
she brought it up.
When Padma dies, she's feeling incredibly guilty. But she talks about, there was absolutely nothing I could do. I'm like, how do you know you weren't there? What? So, she's
Honestly,
got
though,
some issues too.
If I had the choice between saving my friends and boning Draco, I know which way I'm going.
We feel really loved, audience. Just know that me and Holly definitely know our
100%.
place.
I'm telling you right now, Draco walks out, golden mask on, bye. Ben, same thing, bye. I would leave in a heartbeat. I don't even care. You guys can fend for yourselves. You got it.
It's funny. Okay.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I giggled at Theo in chapter 32. He says a line that made me think of New Girl, but I'm pretty sure it's been said like in other places too, where he says like drinking alcohol for inside wounds and rubbing, or he says like rubbing. Like,
yeah.
New Girl.
But he said it wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said it back of like. So he must have said rubbing alcohol for inside wounds and drinking alcohol for outside wounds. It just I immediately thought of New Girl because I love Nick. So
I love Nick too.
Mm-hmm.
We love Theo.
I love Theo. I really loved Theo in this one. I hate a loser Theo. And by that I mean a mean Theo, a dark Theo. I don't like.
Sorry, I'm going back. Goyle. I forgot I was going to ask about this. So I think we talked about it in the past. Crab and Goyle in the books, at least in the movies, as far as I'm remembering, one of them dies. Is it Crab that dies, and that's why Goyle is the one in this fic?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. Because this is also the first fic that I've read that Goyle is even in it. Most of the time, I feel like
he's just like mentioned.
They're not. Yeah, they really aren't typically, and I wonder why that is. I think it's just because I don't know whoever started the Hermione fandom and all of this, you know, when people started writing more and more and more and more, it's like, well, Theo and Blaise were just such good characters that it's like, oh, well, we're just going to follow that train. And now Blaise and Theo are amazing characters, whereas Crab and Goyle never were. So they're just gone.
And Blaise wasn't, I mean, he was mentioned for those couple chapters, but like and I liked how Draco even was like, oh yeah, he ran the first chance he got. Like he left. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, no Blaise, bye.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if it's because, I mean, Crab and Goyle are such idiots in the books. I really do. Like, it's like, well, we don't really want to have them as, you know, major characters because they're dim-witted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, we're just going to take these two characters that are barely mentioned in the books and we're going to make them real characters.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I love Theo. I really do. I hate it when Theo is a naughty Theo. And not in a good way, naughty.
I was going to say, hold on.
Not in a good way, in a bad way. I was going to say, spank him on his bum bad.
Damn.
That might be what Harry was doing on the date.
Yeah.
But we'll never know because we had to draw our own conclusions.
Oh, man. Why didn't Voldemort read Hermione's mind?
Okay, thank you. The whole time I was reading this, I kept saying, can he do, how do you pronounce it?
Legilimency.
Oh, that word.
Legilimency.
He has that power, and he never used it on her. Not once.
Well, sometimes in some fics, Hermione is already like a really good Occlumens too, but I don't think it was. So, yeah, we're just, Voldemort's just sitting there, whipping his jowls around, going, what are we doing?
The part where Draco goes, I wonder if her job is buffing it or something like that, or shining it. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Yucky.
Yeah, it is really gross.
I giggled. Sorry, I'm jumping a lot.
Oh, I am too now. It's
That's
okay.
at the point. We're at that
Yep.
point.
I giggled a lot when Draco kept calling Jenny Weasel Tits.
I know.
It's usually like Weaslette.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Weasel
Or
Tits was
She
really
Weasel.
funny to me.
Yeah, it was funny. I liked that too. I thought it was funny that Voldemort was going to kill Theo for being in possession of all these Muggle items. But then here's Draco smoking Muggle cigarettes everywhere he goes. And I'm going,
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
are you doing that around everyone? Like, there were a couple of points where it was like, why is he getting punished for this when everybody else is doing things like this? I don't know.
I never made that connection. I mean, it was hot that he kept like moving the cigarette like around and like that kind of like, but I didn't click that it was a Muggle cigarette.
Uh-huh. Another thing,
They do that a lot.
pretty sure that Hermione casts Bellatrix into an Incarcerus spell with Bellatrix's wand, with her own wand. And then she kills her, right? She stabs her to death. But before she stabs her to death, she breaks Bellatrix's wand. And, doing that
Wouldn't that break the spell?
Break the spell. Yes, it would have broken the spell, but she was still tied up. And I was going, what? Wait, no.
Is that a thing? That it breaks, like when you break a
Yes.
wand, it breaks a spell? I did not know that.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think it's the same as if the caster dies, it breaks the spell.
But then what about, like, wards then?
Maybe.
Like,
Yeah, you might be right.
And,
might be
Hogwarts
right.
is warded from the founders.
Yeah, maybe this isn't actually a thing, and it's just what I think.
Because I assumed. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, fair.
See, that's the thing, though. It's like, yeah, I try to make things make too much sense when there's not enough baseline. What word am I looking for? Proof that that thing exists. I don't know. Anyway, what's another thing? Oh, this is another thing when they battle Voldemort at the end. Draco has always apparated to Hogsmeade and walked to Hogwarts.
Down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When Theo and Draco come in, wands drawn at Voldemort, ready to battle him because he has Hermione. He holds his dark mark, right? Like he calls all the Death Eaters, and they all apparate into Hogwarts.
Oh, weird, you're right.
But when he's been summoned by Voldemort, and he apparates to Hogsmeade. And I'm like, okay, if you're being summoned, it would make sense, like, that you actually are summoned to him.
Right.
But he's been summoned, and he doesn't go to him, so I don't know.
No, that's a good point.
That's another thing.
Because they have to beat into our heads that, you can't apparate into Hogwarts. So.
I'm reading my notes, guys. So I took my notes half on my phone. I'm reading these, and I didn't go back to, like, correct the autocorrect that it corrected things to, and I'm saying apparate while I'm reading this, and it keeps saying apostate. Sorry, it's just stupid and funny.
Random little thing, I liked that they named the baby Karina, and not like, because usually it's like Lyra,
Cassiopeia, or
I've only seen one. It's Cassiopeia, but
Cassiopeia. Dude, I don't know how to pronounce anything, so it's good that you know how to pronounce it.
I don't know how to pronounce.
You came in with such confidence on that, though.
No,
like,
I think. Listen, I think I pronounce it as Cassiopeia because isn't that how it's pronounced in? No, I'm not thinking of the right thing because I'm actually thinking of Calliope from Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, oh, that's a different name. What am I thinking?
Calliope. Yeah, Calliope.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Cassiopeia and Cassiopeia. What's the other way you said it?
Cassiopeia?
Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe we're both saying it wrong.
I'm sure we are.
Someone correct us. It's fine. It's fine, but it's not fine. We need to know.
Because Karina, it's still a constellation, apparently. I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
I thought it was cute because, like, okay, cool, because I haven't read that before in a fanfiction. And so I was very like, ooh, I like it because it's still with the Malfoy black line, sorry, not Malfoy line. And yeah.
I'm going to correct you also. You ready?
Yes.
I think you said, I've not read a fanfic where that's the name, Karina.
Yeah,
you have.
Which one?
The Debt of Time. It's not a Dramini, but it is a fanfiction.
She has a kid named Karina in that?
They adopt a girl named Karina.
Huh. Okay, but it is not the same because they.
Sorry.
Oh, technically it is because it's serious.
Carrie Ann. She's just.
This
is weird.
It's good.
Oh man. Oh, it's so good. I was literally dancing.
If I can get Holly
in my head, I wasn't literally dancing.
It's good, okay? It's not
someone else in my family to read The Debt of Time, and they loved it. Okay, those were not the words that were said. They'll correct me and go, I didn't say that. I think they said it was good. That's probably what it was. I corrected it. I didn't over-exaggerate.
Good job. 10 stars.
Thank you.
10 points to Gryffindor.
Thanks. Maybe 5 to Hufflepuff?
That's the first time we've made that joke yet. I'm surprised it took us this long.
Oh, man.
We'll have to, we might have to incorporate that somehow in our whatever. How would you rate this?
You guys ready? I don't think you're ready for my rating, okay? Listen. I would rate this a 4.
Out of 5? Duh.
A 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
A 4 out of 5 because I'm taking points away because I don't like the ending, and that's a personal thing, and I know that. But I'm still going to take points away. There's a couple of inconsistencies that we mentioned, but I'm taking points away because the vanilla sex. The smut scenes in this, I felt like were too short for like all of the lead up, especially being a dark AU.
It was only like one sex scene.
Yeah, it just felt a little unsatisfying, like on that end, to me.
Well, when we were so unsatisfied in Italy, and then, when we finally get some sort of anything, it's not really anything.
It just,
it was still good, but
yeah,
it was a good scene. But
I would want a little bit more. I would want, and if it's just that one scene, I would, again, this being a dark AU, I would expect at least a little bit of like
kink.
Yeah, just a little something. But this was very.
Besides praise kink, because that doesn't quite count. Because
he used that everywhere. Yeah, he used that everywhere, not specifically in that moment. So it's just that's why I would rate this a 4.
To me, that's generous for you. With what you're saying, that's quite generous.
No. It's only because I really liked all of the other things that went on in this. I really liked the writing and the descriptions of certain things. Like there were lots of other things that I really, really enjoyed about this one. So that's where I would give it a 4.
Okay, I will go.
I haven't decided.
I will rate it. See, I kind of haven't either. I will rate it. See, I'm thinking like a 4.25 because it's kind of. I'll be technical. 4.25. Because it was. Now I'm gonna bump it up 4.5.
I was gonna say that's so high for you.
It is high. It's with the other 2 that we've done. Yeah, that's high for me. Because there's not a whole lot that I can like say I didn't like that. Like, yeah, I wish it would have had more. I would have had it would have had more of this. But that's different. Like, I wish it would have had other things, but I'm not necessarily going to dock points because of that. What was here, what was given to me, I thoroughly enjoyed. I went into this, and you know this, I didn't want to like this.
You were not excited.
You were not happy.
Nope.
That's why you
not
read it
want to
today.
read this. Why I read it today. And I obviously I really like it, so like it turned me around. So yeah, nope, 4.5 out of 5 stars from me.
Wow.
Oh, you're done? Shit. Well, so here's okay. Here's the thing. My Hufflepuff is coming out. My Hufflepuff is coming out. Okay. I have a very, very hard time. Well, and maybe this is just, I need to pay attention to tags, but we all know that I don't do that, and I read through it anyway. I have a hard time with, I don't have a hard time with gore. I can handle that, but and this had explicit gory details, I felt. But I can't dock it because of that. It was a great fic, and it was tagged as such, so.
It was appropriately tagged, so you can't get mad.
I also don't want to rate it the same way that one of you rated it, but I was going to give it a 4.5. And the only reason it didn't get higher, in my opinion, was because of the inconsistencies. Because there were, and I pointed out quite a few.
Yeah.
I have more on here that I didn't mention. So there's just little things that I'm like, let me go through your fic. I'll fix this for you.
Yeah,
let me fix it.
The inconsistencies aren't bad, but it just takes you out of the story enough to where you have to refocus enough.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I felt like I had to do that often with it. Other than that, though, I really did thoroughly enjoy it. And I mentioned this earlier, though, I really liked that it stood by itself when it says right in the beginning in the author's notes that I was inspired by Manacled and Secrets and Masks. Like, I have read plenty of fics that are inspired by other fics like that are no good. Maybe that's kind of harsh. They're not no good. It's just
they're similar enough that it's
it's hard to get and grasp a good story on its own that does not copy, exactly what it was or so along the lines of what, the other fic was. And so I felt like they did such a good job with that it gains a higher rating, in my opinion. And the fact that it does, it says in one of the tags, we fight for our HEAs or something like that, our happy endings. And I'm like, yeah, you did. And I thought they did a good job. So 4.5, because I do partially agree. I wanted a little bit more at the end, but then also because of the inconsistencies. But overall, I thought it was really well written. The story was well thought out. So 4.5 also from my end.
I can't believe I'm the one rating this the lowest, and yet
me too. Do you need to change your mind? Because here I am. I always wait for you guys. I need to know what you guys say.
Oh my God.
No, because I need to copy. I just need.
No, okay. I'm not going to change my mind because it's just. No, I'm not going to change my mind. I have read a lot of dark romance, and I think that's why I am having a hard time with the sex scenes in this, because I have read so much dark romance that this seems so bland. Like, I know that it's not technically a dark romance, and this is more of the dark AU, but it still just, to me, was just not, like, it didn't fit enough for me. And I know I shouldn't mark it points because of the ending, but I just want an epilogue chapter. If there was just one little tiny epilogue chapter.
I always rate these high. And then I go to my list of all the Hermiones I've read because, I have to, mention my list every time.
Hey, you haven't mentioned yet?
I know! I was going to say that! I can't believe! Blasphemous, okay? This is just... I have stabbed my heart. Remain nameless, okay? I'm going to go read it now. I finished reading it for the 12th time this week. So Y'all can suck it. That's what Hermione's
That was
saying.
violent. I'm like, oh my god.
Anyway, Remain Nameless is number 1. Never. I don't think anyone is ever going to beat that one. Sorry, guys. The Downfall of Us. I rated it at number 48 on my list out of 71.
Wow.
So it's like it's the bottom half,
right,
but
not like the bottom.
See, and that's the thing. It's like after we've discussed these, though, I go, I think I liked that a lot better than what I originally rated this, and I want to move it.
This is why you need to read them twice.
I do, yes, and normally I do. I've read so many of these more than once. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, no, it does not deserve number 48. Where do you? You deserve higher than that one, and that's number 28. Oh dear.
Upset.
And that's where I go, why are you there?
Is there anything else we have to talk about?
Regarding this fic?
Yes.
I'm really, really upset with myself, and I will be upping my game next time we get on here to mention Remain Nameless more than once. Oh my hell, I can't believe it. Didn't even cross my mind.
That means we really liked this fanfiction because there wasn't enough room
I guess you're
for you
right.
to think about Remain Nameless. So.
I guess you're right. Look at that. Oh my. Wow.
Okay. Well, join us next week for our...
What are you doing this week? What's up? What's new with you?
I always forget that.
Which is so funny. You're the one that pushed for
it.
So everybody listening can know when we were talking about how we wanted to organize the podcast, like what we wanted to say, Tracy was from the beginning. She was very clear about like, I want to add in at the end, like, what else are you doing? What else are you reading?
Because you want to talk about what you're reading other than Hermione. And that's great. That's awesome. We got to discuss other things.
Come on. What's up with you? What are you reading? Because you want to know what I am going to read in between this and our next episode? The Plated Prisoner series.
Oh yeah, the next book comes out this next month, doesn't it? I never made it past the first book. I need to. I hated it, and I never finished the first book. I never even finished it. Everyone tells me, just finish it. Just get past that book. It's
a King Midas retelling with like gold, but the morally gray character in that one.
The very first book opens on an orgy. Just
it does.
Ooh.
I was like, so good. Ooh. You are missing it. Anyways, so that's what I am going to be reading.
Oh, you guys are funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be reading.
I need to start Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I put it on my currently reading on Storygraph. It's the second one for Icebreaker, but I have not started it yet. I need to, though I also kind of want to reread Ice Planet Barbarians again. And I also have
that's coming up.
Like,
we're gonna. Oh, you're talking. What am I thinking?
I want to read like the actual Ice Planet Barbarians.
You want to read actual Ice Planet Barbarians? I'm thinking, we have that on our list. We're gonna read it.
Not give away the farm. That reminds me of Friends. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot that I want to read, but my ADD or ADHD or whatever the heck you want to call it now, is too. I can't. There's a reason I read this fan fiction today. I haven't read a thing in a week, so. I haven't even finished I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, and I'm listening to that. I'm listening to it.
Dude, I think you were discussing that last time that you were...
Yeah, I was. That was this segment. I haven't even finished it yet.
That's so funny.
Because I just cannot focus on one thing, so.
You know what? I should look and see. So, let's see how many books I've finished since our last episode.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Let's count. Gotta open up my story graph. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Also, we use Storygraph here
5. Yes, we do.
because it's amazing. And,
7.
women-owned.
7.
Love that.
2 of those are fan fictions. 7.
You're welcome.
And
Oh.
What about
Rest
you, Holly?
in peace,
What are you
Matthew
doing?
Perry.
What are you doing this week?
Oh, what do you think I'm doing? Good hell.
you're gonna restart Remain Nameless?
My bad.
I'm listening to The Disappearances of Draco Malfoy for the 6th time. I now have my second person in my family that I'm getting to read that one. I'm so proud. I've never been more proud.
That's what you're doing.
Finally. Good hell. I've been reading this crap for a year. I'm finally getting people after me going, did you read it? Did you look at it? What'd you do? You like it? What?
I'm gonna...
Slowly advancing on the camera.
The wide eyes for me and everything.
I did it on purpose. Anyway.
It reminded me of Dory with the do ya? It's not closer. Yeah. So.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. No, I'm gonna finish listening to that one for the 6th time. It's my second favorite one, right after Remain Nameless. I will still die on that hill. I don't care. Huh?
I think it's something else on number 2.
No. Number 3 was The Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love.
Oh, okay.
And this week I changed it to Amor Vincent Omnia as number 3. And I'm about to swap it back. See, that's the thing, guys. You're going to find out I am not a dependable rater of these fan fictions. I change my mind a lot. But
that's why we're not judging fan fictions to other fan fictions.
No.
That's what you
do.
I do it for my own purposes. It's for myself. Oh yeah, I loved this one. And this is how much I loved this one. I still really love it. But I was telling both of them earlier today, I was like, the one thing I hate about this is it makes me so depressed in my actual life. Because of how happy they are.
Yeah. You don't compare fan fictions to other fan fictions, but you do compare Draco to your real life husband, because...
Make sure Bryce does not listen to this episode.
I compare it to Ben. Like, why aren't you doing that?
No. So this is something...
Why can't I carve my name on your chest?
I was taught as a young kid that, like the Disney princess movies, because I loved Disney princesses. I wanted to be a Disney princess. And I was told by a relative, don't invest so much of your feelings into that, because reality is truly not the same.
They told you that as a kid?
Really, yes. No, and I took it with me. I did. And so I knew, growing up, like, oh yeah, that's not how a relationship is. That's not how it works. Like, all of those thoughts and everything. And so I have kept that. And I know, but it does suck a little bit that this Draco is not real. That there's no such thing as this kind of a person out there. I really don't believe that there is. No. He's just every woman's dream. And man's. I mean, just, yeah. Literal dream. I want him, but so does everyone. So.
Surprisingly, not everyone. I've recently come across a few people that...
You want this one.
Wait, what?
You want the Draco Malfoy from Amor Vincent Omnia. You love him.
Okay, I'm meaning
yeah,
Draco in general. I recently came across some Twitter people saying if you ever ship this, you're blah blah blah, and I was like, okay.
Hey,
it was pretty bad. I was like here you just think it's you deserve to be shot or something, and I was like, make it quick. So
Make it quick.
Gosh.
I was like, oh, that's a lot, but okay.
It's okay. People have really big mouths on the internet.
And big opinions, so yeah,
Yep.
it is what it is.
Yep. So do I. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm reading. I'm going to finish Amor Vinta Omnia, and then I think, actually, I'm going to read Below the Surface again. Because I want to read that one again. That's the one where Hermione is a Slytherin. And it's very, it's like, what? What? And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm going to read it again.
Okay, cool. So then, trying to find my thing, sorry. Okay. Be sure to join us next time as we discuss the fanfiction Sex and Occlumency. Is that how you pronounce it?
I pronounce it occlumency.
Occlumency.
Mm-hmm.
Sex and Occlumency. I'm pronouncing it Graendal.
Yeah.
Graendoll.
Graendall. I don't know.
Graendal. It is a what's the word I'm looking for? It is a restricted fan fiction, so you do have to have an AO3 account in order to access it.
I didn't know that was a thing.
If it has the blue lock next to it,
that's what that means. Thank you.
So when you look it up on Google, it doesn't pop up right away.
Okay.
So yeah, tune in next time for Sex and Occlumency by Graendal. Germani Fanfic Fanatics is a fan podcast that discusses and reviews fanfiction written by various authors based on the characters Hermione Granger and Draco Malfoy from the Harry Potter series created and owned by J.K. Rowling. We do not own the rights to the Harry Potter series, its characters, or any of the fanfiction works mentioned in this podcast. The purpose of our podcast is to provide commentary, analysis, and entertainment related to the fanfiction community and to foster a sense of community among the fans. We respect the creative efforts of fanfiction authors and consider their works as transformative interpretations of the original source material. All fanfiction works discussed on this podcast are the intellectual property of their respective authors. We aim to provide proper attribution and promote the fanfiction community by linking to the author's original works where possible. This podcast is created for entertainment purposes and is not intended to infringe upon the rights of the copyright holders. If you are the author of a fanfiction work discussed on this podcast and would like us to remove or modify our content related to your work, please contact us and we will promptly address your request. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge and agree to the terms of this disclaimer.